ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is a story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos,
Exactly.
the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and good afternoon. It's the CoreTV News on the hour, and I am Ebulomo Adekunle. The American celebrity website that listed President Goodluck Jonathan as the 6th richest African leader has removed his name from its article on the top 10 African leaders. This was after the presidency threatened to sue the website and other publications that picked the story. Presidential spokesman Ruben Abati has insisted that Jonathan's net worth is a far cry from the $100 million mentioned on the website and demanded a retraction, or the US-based medium should prepare for a legal battle. In response, the online publication has deleted the Nigerian president from the list and attributed the information it used to CelebrityNetWorth.com, which has a page devoted to President Jonathan. The U.S. ambassador to Nigeria, James Entwistle, has debunked media reports that America was not doing enough in helping Nigeria to contain terrorism in the country. Entwistle debunked the notion on Thursday at a news conference in Yola, the Adamawa state capital. He said the U.S. government was heavily involved in supporting Nigerian government's response to Boko Haram menace. He revealed that the support to Nigeria was in many forms, including training of soldiers and information sharing. On his perception of Boko Haram, the ambassador said he was not sure of the group's objectives, but observed that the dreaded terror outfit had gone beyond being a small insurgent group with a couple of guns to very effective collection of conventional force. The envoy, who was in Adamawa to monitor the suspended October 11 governorship by-election, held talks with Adamawa Interfaith Committee, a non-governmental organization. He also visited the American University of Nigeria, Yola, where he delivered a lecture to staff and students of the institution. Political thugs believed to be supporters of the Minister of State for Education, Nyesom Wike, on Thursday beat up members of the People's Democratic Party opposed to his gubernatorial ambition in Rivers State. This was at the venue of a meeting of all aspirants called by the party's leadership in Abuja. Security operatives also had a hectic time controlling the crowd, which converged on the party's presidential campaign office with placards expressing opposition to Wike's ambition.
Protest letter we wrote to the South-South Integration Committee. I came as a gentleman. When I was making to the hall, I saw the goons of Nyesom Wike, Osike, Odiari Prince Will, and others. They were stopping people. And I asked them, what is your duty? We came to present our position. We are presenting our position. We came to defend here. They said we will not enter. Meanwhile, every person from River State, they push the person inside, come inside. Professor Wate, they said he's an APC person. Chief Begumbos of Kenya, they molested, assaulted, and pushed him down. Lole came here, pushed him, collected money from him, his hand. Sadiq came here. Every member that come, they have embarrassed. I did not know. I was just coming from the interview, so I went straight to the gate. And before I know, I told them I identified myself as the lawyer to KUF and NDDG, and can you imagine one Nigerian police under the employment of orders of Wike did to my eye. Me, a lawyer, Wike knows me.
Chronicling all the problems in River State. Move that from me and Manandul me. Not only me. All the leaders of River State who are not supporting Wike, we are all molested, all beaten. Some of their stalls removed. Now, what is the implication is they want violence. Violence is against the and violence is taking place right in the doorstep of the party executive council. And therefore, we are asking PDP that what they do is not reconciliation. What they are doing today is to tear the party apart. And our fear is if this continues, PDP will fail in Rivers. If they go ahead to install Wike and the Quere man to succeed, Rivers people will use their vote to vote out PDP. PDP is a party. I'm a foundation member of PDP. From day one till today, I'm a PDP member. I have worked hard to install governors, deputy governors, senators, House of Rep, and other officers. But today, the way the party is going, PDP will fail. So, Mr. President, the John Nation will rise against him. This oppression will take place in River State. I am a John leader, and I will raise the to tell the John Nation that this injustice cannot happen in River State. And if he allows that, the job will rise. Yes. He will cut. Yes. We will be no oil supply again in River State. Yes. People produce 46% of the oil in River State. Yes. And 60% of the gas. Yes. The oil will stop. If you don't want us to rule our state, they have a right to accuse the North why they are oppressing us. If they allow Iwike to change Amechi, it shows that there is no vacancy 2019. It means Jonathan will not do what to another South man. And that will not augur well for Nigeria. So let them do justice, or River State will vote against Jonathan.
Governors elected on the platform of the People's Democratic Party have been celebrating an addition to their rank with the swearing-in of Balangilari as Adamawa State's governor. Chairman of the PDP Governors Forum, Godswill Akpabio of Akwa Ibom State, told State House correspondents in Abuja that the judiciary has again proven itself in the country. He described Ngilari's swearing-in as a win-win situation for the party.
Ngilari is a PDP. Yes. It's not an opposition. And what it means is that I must always congratulate the president for being a president who upholds the rule of law and who has respect for the judiciary. Because this was a judicial pronouncement. And of course, the federal government has been known worldwide for upholding the rule of law. So what happened in Adamawa for me is a function of the fact that we must always give respect to judicial pronouncements and respect the judiciary. But the interesting part of it is that it is a family business for the PDP, because Ngilari, the current governor, was of course the deputy governor who refused to defect to the APC because of his belief in the PDP. He stayed with the PDP, and he did not defect to the opposition. So I think in coming back as the governor of Adamawa State, he's coming back as a PDP governor. He's not coming back as an APC governor.
In his first official function as governor of Adamawa State, Bala James Ngilari received a delegation of the National Reconciliation and Integration Committee of the People's Democratic Party at the Dugire Government House, Yola. The committee was led by former Senate President Ken Inamani. He emphasized the need for reconciliation and integration of members who have either left the PDP and returned or fresh members.
See a new position as a call to duty to unify the party better than before. Let our party be stronger in this state under your leadership. And we wish you success in the onerous task before you turning your state around, transforming your state, laying down strong infrastructural development for your state, from which a lot of industrial activities can start taking place. We wish you well.
Responding, Ngelari thanked the committee for their visit and promised that nothing will stand in the way of the PDP in the government house in 2015.
One of the things I'll pursue the issue of reconciliation and integration. It is understandable because you see the diversity and the complexity and too many people that are in PDP and that wish to come in. There's really a need to reconcile and give everybody hope, and because like philosopher, somebody once said, leadership is about the marketing of hope. A leader is a dealer in hope. You cannot talk about giving hope unless you are able to sit with people and say, yes, you have space. And only PDP can guarantee space for everybody in Nigeria. But there are no two ways about it.
The return of Bala Ngelari to the forefront of Adamawa state politics, this time as a governor, is no longer news. Ngelari, who was impeached alongside his former boss, Murtala Nyako, stages a dramatic return after an Abuja High Court's judgment sacks Umar Fintiri, who held the position in acting capacity. Our correspondent Olajumoke Olatuji traces the intrigues and power play leading to the making of Governor Bala Ngelari. The report.
This is a great day for constitutionalism in Nigeria. When we started this battle, some people thought it was a joke. And we made the point that a deputy governor can only resign his office by handing over his letter of resignation to the governor. He cannot resign by handing over the letter of resignation to the Speaker of the House.
That was before the swearing-in of the former deputy governor of Adamawa State, now the governor, Bala James Ngelari. Adamawa, one of the troubled states in the northeast, a stronghold of the Boko Haram sect which is currently under emergency rule, recently joined the states where off-season elections had been and was about to be held following the impeachment of Governor Murtala Nyako by the State House of Assembly over allegations of financial recklessness and other misdeeds. Nyako, who was first elected on the platform of PDP in 2007 and returned in 2011, had defected to the opposition APC owing to some misunderstanding with the establishment. But on the 15th of July 2014, Nyako was impeached. Minutes before his impeachment, his deputy, Bala James Ngelari, reportedly resigned his position as the number 2 man in the state. Nyako, however, dismissed the resignation of his deputy as a nullity. On the 6th of August, Ngelari proceeded to court through his lawyer, Festus Keyamo, asking to be sworn in as the substantive governor of the state because, according to him, he did not resign his office as stipulated by the Constitution. This stood in sharp contrast to what the State House of Assembly claimed was his resignation in a letter read by the then Speaker, Umar Fintiri, to members of the House during the height of the impeachment drama. In the originating summons filed in the Federal High Court holding in Abuja, Ngelari said the Constitution is very explicit that the Deputy Governor can only resign through a letter to that effect to the substantive governor. And as at the time, his purported letter was read on the floor of the Adamawa House of Assembly, Nyako was still the governor as the lawmakers had not concluded his impeachment process. The Federal High Court sitting in Abuja asked the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to stop all preparations for the governorship by-election slated for Saturday, 11th of October in the state. The court also ordered that the deputy governor of impeached Nyako be sworn in immediately to complete Nyako's tenure.
I, Bala James Ngelari, do solemnly swear.
There are lessons to be learned from these developments.
It's a victory for the rule of law and the principle of constitutionalism in Nigeria. It shows clearly that the era of lawlessness, the era of absolutism, the era where we can play on the purpose and the intentions of our constitution are over.
the Constitution is the manual of government. And for that reason, anybody, by virtue of Section 1 of the Constitution, must adhere strictly to this manual, or anybody who is a beneficiary of offices created by the Constitution must adhere strictly to these provisions.
Galari has described his emergence as a divine intervention, pleading to partner with all the stakeholders to create an enabling environment for peace and progress in the state. Olajumoke Olatunji, CoreTV News, Lagos.
It's the CoreTV News on the hour. Take a break and we'll be back with more stories. Stay with us.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes, and bleeding from the eyes, ears, and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water, or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces, or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees, or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Thank you for being there. The Nigeria Labour Congress is insisting that any resolution taken at the National Convention of the Labour Party would not be binding on organized labour. A top official of the union, Uchenna Ekwe, told CoreTV News in Abuja that NLC and its trade union counterpart won't be part of the convention slated for Akure, the Ondo State capital. He explained that the defection of Governor Olusegun Mimiko and the Ondo State executives of the party to the PDP rendered the initial plan untenable.
Subsequently, the National Working Committee changed the date of the convention to the 11th of October, which to us is not a good process, because if there be any need for a shift, the organ that has the power to do so is the neck of the party. That is one. Secondly, after the NEC meeting that fixed the convention and chose Akure in deference to the governor, some new developments have happened, which included the governor decamping to join the People's Democratic Party with all the elected members of the Labour Party in Ondo State. Having done that, it is our considered opinion, we in the NLC and the TUC, who are joint major stakeholders in the party, the conditions and the reasons for moving the convention to hold in Ondo was no more tenable. Our position is clear, and will not be binding on the TUC.
Organized labor and its civil society partners have vowed to boycott the National Convention of the Labour Party slated for October 11 if party officials go ahead with plans to hold it in Akure, Ondo State. This resolution was presented at a joint press briefing at the end of a stakeholders meeting in Abuja. The Labour movement, which considers itself as an integral bloc in Labour Party, wants the convention postponed in order to maintain its independence.
Whatsoever, we know exactly what we are doing, and it is because we have gotten to a point where we will not sit down and watch the independence of a political party like Labour Party is being undermined. We must rise up to the challenge to make sure that a Labour Party will continue to stand on its own. Nothing stops political parties from going into working alliances, but not making a Labour Party an appendage of any political party for that matter.
We want to inform all members of the movement that within the next 48 hours, a more robust program of action will be unveiled onto when and where the next convention will hold.
See, it is only when we understand what they are looking for. But don't miss this point. The Labour Party was formed by the unions. Clearly. Dan was put there without contest. Go and sit down here. So he can't behave as if he contested the election with anybody. If he did, let him mention it. So, and it's unfortunate that this time around he's sounding this way. But we have to reclaim this party for the interest of Nigerians.
Solidarity forever.
The national leadership of the Labour Party is, however, not moved by organised Labour's threat to boycott the national convention. It also questioned whether individuals or groups threatening to shun the convention are actually current members of the party. Outgoing party chairman Dan Uwanyao told CoreTV News in a telephone interview that neither NLC nor TUC made contributions to the party's growth since its birth in 2004. He claimed that the publicly backed candidates of other parties in several elections where Labour Party fielded candidates. Uwanyao, however, disclosed that the National Executive Committee of the party would meet on Friday to determine whether to proceed with the convention on Saturday. On claims that he unilaterally fixed the date of the convention, the Labour Party chairman said the party's NEC initially set an October 4 date before realizing that it fell on the eve of the Eid al-Kabir. He added that a new date was slated by the National Working Committee and endorsed by the party's NEC. Meanwhile, the Labour Party says the defection of Ondo State Governor Olusegun Mimiko and former Governor of Ogun State, Gbenga Daniel, to the People's Democratic Party will not affect the fortunes of the party in 2015 general elections. Olajumoke Olatuji met with a chieftain of the party in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, and brought back this report.
The defection of Mimiko, who last week formally dumped the Labour Party for the ruling People's Democratic Party, and that of a former governor of the state, Gbenga Daniel, is no longer news. Beyond this, the Ogun State chapter of Labour Party appears unmoved by the exit of the two. The General Secretary of the party, Sunday Ogini, says the defection of the two political giants will not in any way affect the party's fortune in the coming election year.
It is good riddance to bad rubbish. So we are happy about it, and that will help us to reposition the party. We have been in litigation for long, battling him that the leadership of the party, according to the constitution, does not belong to him. And now that he has now found solace in going back to PDP, so we are expecting that a lot of people who are interested in a progressive party will come to Labour Party in Ogun State.
Is the party already feeling the heat of Mimiko's defection? Ogini's response was an obvious no, even though he admitted that the postponement of the party's national convention over the grievances some members over Mimiko's defection in Akure, the Ondo State capital, is an avoidable embarrassment.
Yes, on morality ground. I think Akure convention was based on the fact that we have only one governor that has won twice on the platform of the party. And in the Governor Mimiko's personal wisdom, if he decided that he's going to PDP, I don't think it's not morally right for us as a party to have a convention in Akure. So far, we are not ready to be taken as a trophy to PDP. The Oshoba faction or OGD faction, that is sudden death for them. The promoter of that faction has catapulted and has found himself in PDP.
Political observers, however, insist that the Labour Party may, in the words of its chieftain, unmoved about the exit of the two political giants, but will surely miss the financial support of Mimiko. Olajumoke Olatunji, CoreTV News, Lagos.
And for more news and other information, you can visit our social media platform on Facebook, facebook.com/CoreTV News. On Twitter, @CoreTV News NG, and on YouTube, youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space, then news. The Ekiti State Police Command has broken its silence on the continuous presence of security personnel in and around the Ado Ekiti court premises. Rashid took up the command's public relations officer on the seat. Here is the report.
As tension rises in the city of Ado Ekiti over the presence of a combined team of security personnel in and around the Ado Ekiti court premises for some days now, the Ekiti State Police Command says the action is on orders from above.
Security to the judges, the court officials, and to the properties in that axis. So, and that is what we are doing. Like I said, we cannot, judiciary is an independent arm of government. They know how they go about their own things, but it's also our own constitutional mandate to provide security for lives and property, and that is what we are doing there.
Since security men have been drafted to the court has not sat on any matter. Can the security men be drafted to prevent any sitting as insinuated? The PPRO replied this way.
Going by considering what happened some few days ago, we have a duty on hand. For whatever case is coming up, for us to provide security for lives and property, and it is not the presence of security around that place is not to deter anybody from coming in or to prevent anybody from going about their lawful business or going about their lawful duties. But the presence of security around that place, like I said, is to provide security for the judges, court officials, and the properties around that area.
Now that it's obvious that the celebrated E11 case may not come for hearing anytime soon, should the security men be taken away for the court to sit? Victor Babayemi has this to say.
They will live there when the situation in the state is conducive for them to live. When it is conducive and when the situation in the state is conducive and the situation has been regularized and brought under total control, then the security around that the court premises will live.
The police having had their say on the matter, the acceptance of the explanation or otherwise is the preserve of the Ekiti people, though the rumor of what is behind the action will not go away. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
And that's it on CoreTV News on the hour for this time. Join us again top of the hour for more. Thank you for watching. I am Ebulomo Adekunle.